I was 15 when I was told I was dirty. Let me explain. When I was 15, I worked at a fruit stall in Germany, in my hometown. And a lady came to the stall and asked for a box of strawberries. I handed it to her with a smile. Her response, "I can't have these, they're dirty." So I looked at the strawberries and I saw a few dirt spots, so I thought, fair enough, pick out a nicer one. "Here you go. I can't have these, they're dirty." And this went on until the stall owner pushed me aside and, stern face, served the woman herself. To that lady, it wasn't the strawberries that were dirty. My skin was dirty. I was dirty. That moment planted a quiet seed of shame. A fracture between me, my skin, my body, my senses, my whole belonging. That moment, in that moment of trauma with a little t, I armored up. There was no play. My backstory, and I know we all have one, starts with my Nigerian dad and my German mum in Germany. They met in a small town, and between two cultures and a lot of judgments and isms, I was born with nowhere to belong. So I grew up with my adoptive family, and I can tell you one thing, this adoption thing is absolutely beautiful, and it isn't easy. Back me up, any fellow adoptees or adopter, it's not easy. So as a child, I found resilience in play. Sitting in the grass with the sun on my skin, helping ants cross from one blade to another, making friends on holidays. I even went to school one day with my little new friend, Carolina, and I didn't even speak a single word of Italian, neither did she German. I've no idea how we figured that out. Play clearly crosses and has no barriers. Play was what made me feel alive. Play was how I created belonging. And as I grew up, adults, education, work, they taught me not to play. They taught me to perform, to fit in, to earn my worth. And the world, as an adult, it became much less about that power within and power to, but much more about power over. In that world, there was little play. And when play stops, so does connection. And trauma, whether that's through adoption or racism or abuse, it doesn't just stay a memory. It's like a nasty cancer. It hijacks our body before our minds even know what's really going on, meaning we are unable to meet our own needs, and we lash out either to ourselves, self-harm, I've seen so many different shapes of that, or other people, hurting and harming others. We've all experienced it. And globally, the World Health Organization estimates that 70% of adults, that's pretty much 70% of us, have experienced at least one traumatic event in their lifetime. And the human cost of unprocessed trauma, it's visible everywhere. Anxiety, depression, chronic illness. That's why I became a social worker. I became an expert at supporting children and adults with really complex trauma and backstories to reconnect playfully and achieve their goals for a better life. I became a trauma-informed leadership coach in those high-stakes workplace environments. And a bit of theory here, polyvagal theory. Stephen Purchas with polyvagal theory, I love it. He explains how our body has an inbuilt GPS, the vagus nerve, constantly scanning. Am I safe? Or do I need my helmet? Am I in danger? And when we feel safe, we enter what Purchas calls the ventral vagus state. Calm, social, playful. But when we get threatened, we drop into that sympathetic activation, fight or flight. That's my go-to, putting the armor on. And when things are hopeless, and that's probably the most scary one to me personally, we drop into that dorsal shutdown. Numbness, collapse, that total disconnect. However, it does get brighter, I promise. Bessel van der Kolk's work, he highlights how sensory engagement in playful activities can support release and fosters connection and safety. And over the years, I have coached hundreds of people, social workers, business leaders, entrepreneurs, and many of them have disclosed to me in sessions, I feel absolutely exhausted. I can't switch off. I have no idea what I need. So they had become experts at cognitive thinking, but strangers to their body, disconnected from their senses and disconnected from play. And that disconnect, it comes at a human and an economic cost. It shows in well-being, burnout, chronic stress, illness, and poor relationships and poor performance, attrition in workplaces. Because when we ignore this part, our feelings, needs, and bodies, we cannot think ourselves out of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. Believe me, I am half German, I have tried. We do like a bit of thinking. But something incredibly happens when we reconnect with our senses. And one of my coachees, let's call her Sarah, she came to me at the edge of breakdown. So we didn't start with strategy or goals. We started with her breath. We laughed, we played, we used her sense of touch, her sense of balance, her sense of body awareness. And slowly, really slowly, she was able to hear her body's signals again. Play wasn't childish to her, it was medicine. Play was a reminder for her body what it felt like to be safe, wrapped up in her favorite fluffy, bright pink hoodie. And that hoodie came with her to board meetings. She absolutely aced it. It was fabulous. And over decades of practice and my own healing, love, connections, and sisterhood, I discovered a powerful pathway that allows us to shift away from anxiety, stress, and overwhelm towards safety and connection. Feelings, needs, body, and play. It's not magic, I wish. It's muscle memory. It's practice. Step 1, name what you feel. And I mean beyond the big 3 here, happy, sad, angry, it's not enough. No. Facing and naming our feelings with nuance, it gives them shape. I feel scared. I feel disconnected. I feel worried. Step 2, needs. Every feeling points to a need. Fear often points to our need for safety. And anger, and we see a lot around that in the world at the moment, often points to a need for fairness and justice. When we understand the needs underneath our feelings, we can begin to heal. Step 3, body. Our bodies have the most amazing inbuilt GPS. So feel it. Feel your breath, heartbeat, the tension in your shoulders. I think mine dropped half an inch through this talk already, so I must be starting to feel safe. When we connect to our 7 senses, so that's not 5, it's 7, our sense of sight, sound, the sense of smell, touch, taste, that sense of balance, that vestibular sense, and the sense of body awareness, proprioception. We can attune to and receive our nervous system signals again and map back into safety. And step 4, play. So this is my favorite one. Once we've felt, named, and grounded, play. It's how the body recalibrates. It could be dancing, it could be journaling, it could be laughing, it could be walking to that rhythm nobody else can hear. We've all done it in the office. When we play, our nervous system can come back into safety and connection. Play reminds our bodies what it feels like to be safe, and that life isn't just about surviving, it's about connecting. In the organization I co-founded, we are researching how play resets the nervous system for better decision-making. And really excitingly, to me anyway, early findings suggest that even moments of play, so that could be mindful breathing, that could be laughing with a colleague, that could even be being present and really enjoying that very British cup of tea or a biscuit. It resets our nervous system for safety and connection, supporting better, more emotionally intelligent decision-making. So let's have a go at it. For those of you who are sitting on the front tables, there should be a ball with red little stress balls. So if you can grab yourself a little stress ball. For those in the seats, I think this is the table privilege. I'm really sorry. For those on the seats, if you use an item like your phone, just hold the stress ball or hold your phone, and we're going to play a game now. So let's start by just holding the item, hold that ball, really kind of connect with it. Feel it, feel the texture. You could even brush it against your skin. Really allow your nervous system to calibrate. Let that playful experience of connecting with your senses allow your body to feel safe. And then for those on the tables, if you could hold the ball up for me, as high as you can, if you can, perfect. This is going to be the play part. What I'd like you to do is, I tell you the rules of the game. I'm going to count to 3, and at 3, you are going to throw the ball into the bucket. Not beside here, not in front of here, into the bucket. So between us, we have a goal of getting 1 ball into the bucket, okay? No pressure. We're at the cricket club. The vibes are good. Let's try it. So I'm going to count to 3, and you're only going to throw at 3, okay? You ready? 1, 2, hang on a minute, actually. Not that I don't trust you, but I am actually going to armor up for this one. Let's be real, a little bit of armor keeps us safe sometimes. Right, 1, 2, 3, have a go. Have a go. Oh my God. Have you managed it? Oh my God, you did. There is a ball in it. Well done. I don't know who threw it, but give yourself a round of applause. That was amazing. We didn't manage to do that in rehearsal, so well done, you guys. I'm going to take that off. That is play. When we play, we laugh louder, we breathe deeper, and our nervous systems relearn how to play together. Workplace culture is the dance floor. When we play, we rise from trauma to connection, so we can stop judging, excluding, or even murdering the people who violate our needs for safety, justice, or fairness. I wasn't taught how to play with those women on the fruit stand. But today I can play, and I can invite others to play with me, even people who don't look or think like me. That is my power, and it is in all of you. Thank you so much.